Hi, do you like reading books?
Yes, I love reading books. How about you?
I like it too, but I don't read as often as I'd like. What kind of books do you usually read?
I'm a big fan of fiction. I love getting lost in a good story. What about you?
I enjoy nonfiction books, especially biographies and memoirs. I find it fascinating to learn about real people's lives.
That's interesting. Have you read any good ones lately?
Yes, I just finished Becoming by Michelle Obama. It was really inspiring to read about her journey.
Oh, I've been meaning to read that one. I heard it's really good. What did you like about it?
I loved how honest and vulnerable she was in sharing her experiences. She also offered some great advice on how to navigate life's challenges.
That sounds great. I'll definitely have to check it out. What's your favorite book of all time?
That's a tough question. There are so many great books out there. But if I had to choose, I would say To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. It's a timeless classic that deals with important themes like racism and injustice.
Yeah, that's a great one. I remember reading it in high school and being really moved by it. Have you read any other books by Harper Lee?
Yes, I also enjoyed Go Set a Watchman, which was published later on. It's not as well known as To Kill a Mockingbird, but it's still a good read.
I haven't read that one yet. Thanks for the recommendation. What's your favorite book to movie adaptation?
Another tough question. I think I would have to go with the Lord of the Rings trilogy. The movies did a great job of bringing the books to life and capturing the epic scale of the story.
Oh yeah, those were amazing. The special effects were really impressive. Have you read any other fantasy books besides The Lord of the Rings?
Yes, I'm a big fan of the Harry Potter series. J.K. Rowling created such a rich and immersive world that I could really get lost in.
I love Harry Potter too. Have you been to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios?
No, I haven't had a chance to go yet. But I would love to experience it someday. Have you been?
Yes, I went last year and it was incredible. It really felt like I was walking around in the world of Harry Potter. I highly recommend it.
That sounds amazing. I'll have to plan a trip there soon. Thanks for chatting with me about books. It's always great to talk to fellow book lovers.
Likewise. Happy reading.
Hi there, do you like reading books?
Yes, I do. I find it really enjoyable to read and learn new things. What about you?
I love reading books too. I find it's a great way to escape into another world and learn about different perspectives.
That's great. What kind of books do you usually read?
I'm a big fan of science fiction and fantasy. I love exploring new worlds and encountering different creatures and characters.
That's interesting. Have you read any good science fiction or fantasy books lately?
Yes, I just finished reading Dune by Frank Herbert. It's a classic science fiction novel that's been around for a long time, but I had never read it before. It was really fascinating to learn about the world of Iraqis and the complex politics and power struggles that take place there.
Oh, I've heard of that one. I haven't read it yet though. What did you like about it?
I love the intricate world building and the way the author weaves together various themes like ecology, politics, and religion. It's a really thought-provoking book.
That sounds really interesting. I'll have to add it to my reading list. What's your favorite science fiction or fantasy book of all time?
That's a tough question. There are so many great books out there. But if I had to choose, I would say The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. It's a hilarious and irreverent take on science fiction that never fails to make me laugh.
I've heard of that one too, but I haven't read it yet. It sounds like a fun read though. What's your favorite part about reading books?
I think my favorite part is the way it opens up my mind to new ideas and perspectives. I feel like every time I read a new book, I come away with a better understanding of the world and the people in it.
That's a great point. I feel the same way. Have you ever joined a book club before?
Yes, I have. I find it's a great way to connect with other readers and get new book recommendations. How about you?
No, I haven't joined a book club before. But I've been thinking about it. Do you have any tips for finding a good book club?
There are a lot of ways to find book clubs these days. You can check out local libraries or bookstores to see if they have any groups that meet regularly. There are also online book clubs that you can join if you prefer. Just make sure to find a group that reads books you're interested in and has a friendly and welcoming atmosphere.
That's helpful advice. Thanks for sharing. It's been great chatting with you about books.
Likewise. Happy reading. Hi, have you read any good books lately?
Yes, I just finished reading The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. It's a really interesting book about a woman who gets the chance to try out different lives and see what could have been if she had made different choices.
That sounds fascinating. What did you think of it?
I really enjoyed it. It was thought-provoking and made me think about the choices I've made in my own life. It's also very well written and kept me engaged throughout.
That's great. I've been looking for a new book to read. Do you have any other recommendations?
Sure, have you read The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett? It's a novel about twin sisters who grow up in a small southern black community, but one sister decides to pass as white and their lives take very different paths.
No, I haven't read that one yet. It sounds really interesting though. What did you like about it?
I thought it was a really powerful exploration of race, identity, and family. The characters are all very well drawn and the story is really engaging. I think you'd enjoy it.
Thanks for the recommendation. I'll definitely check it out. What kind of books do you usually enjoy reading?
I like to read a mix of genres, but I tend to be drawn to literary fiction and historical fiction. I also enjoy memoirs and nonfiction books about science and history.
That's a wide range of interests. Do you have a favorite book or author?
It's hard to pick just one, but I really admire Toni Morrison's work. Her novels are incredibly powerful and moving, and she's a masterful writer. I also love To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. It's a classic for a reason.
I agree, those are both great books. Do you have any tips for getting into reading more regularly?
Sure, I would recommend finding books that really interest you and setting aside dedicated time for reading each day. You could also try setting a reading goal for yourself, like reading a certain number of books per month or per year. And if you find yourself getting stuck in a reading rut, try branching out and reading something outside your usual genre.
Those are all great suggestions. Thanks for the advice. It's been really nice talking to you about books.
Likewise. Happy reading!
Hi, have you ever joined a book club before?
Yes, I have. I actually belong to a book club that meets once a month.
That's cool. What kind of books do you read in your book club?
We read a mix of genres, everything from literary fiction to memoirs to science fiction. Each month, a different member gets to choose the book for the group to read and discuss.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Do you have a favorite book that you've read through your book club?
That's a tough question. We've read so many great books over the years. One that stands out to me is Educated by Tara Westover. It's a memoir about a woman who grew up in a strict, survivalist family in rural Idaho and managed to escape and earn a PhD from Cambridge University. It's a really powerful and inspiring story.
That sounds like an interesting read. I've been wanting to join a book club myself. Do you have any tips for finding one?
Sure, there are a few ways you could go about it. You could check with your local library or bookstore to see if they have any book clubs you could join. You could also look online for virtual book clubs that meet over Zoom or another video platform. And if you have friends who are avid readers, you could start your own book club with them.
Those are all great ideas. Thanks for the suggestions. How do you prepare for your book club meetings?
Well, first I read the book, of course. Then I usually jot down some notes or thoughts about what I liked or didn't like about the book, any questions I have, and any themes or ideas that stood out to me. That way I'm ready to participate in the discussion and share my thoughts with the group.
That's a good idea. I sometimes struggle with coming up with discussion questions. How do you come up with good questions to ask?
I usually try to think about what themes or ideas the book explores and how they relate to our own lives or the world around us. I also like to ask open-ended questions that encourage discussion and different perspectives. And sometimes I'll do a little research on the author or the book's context to help me come up with questions.
Those are really helpful tips. Thanks for sharing them. I'm excited to start my own book club now.
You're welcome. I hope you have a great experience with it.